We're thrilled to have two incredible experts with us today. Our moderator, Benoît, Meulewaeter, Director of Accuracy, and our speaker, Hashim, Basheer, CEO and Product Head at Zaper AI. Please join me in welcoming them on stage.
Good morning, everyone. Very interesting first session. I'm very happy to be here with all of you. Thank you, Construction Week Middle East. And I'm obviously very happy to be with you, Ash. We have a bit of a 15-minute fireside chat on a very big question.
Yeah.
So maybe just before we start, maybe to set the room, I have a question for you. Who believes that AI is going to play a massive role in construction management in the near future? All right, about half of it. Okay, so there are still a lot of skeptical.
Let's make that interesting.
Yeah.
Near future as in like in 6 months.
Okay, so look, we have only 15 minutes. So if you don't know who Zaper is or Accuracy is, we're not here to talk about that. Please come join us after. We'll be very happy to talk. But here we're gonna try to touch base on a very broad topic, as I said. AI as construction managers. Maybe the first way to enter in is, do you believe, Ash, that we're talking about decision making, and there are a lot of people involved on site, from project directors to workers. How do you see AI as a concept integrating into construction management?
Good. So you mentioned AI as a concept, right? So if we just understand the concept of AI, a lot of questions will just go away. The point is, till now we have been saving data. So we just say, let's say I have a remark, right? So I keep a lesson learned. I keep it as a remark, right? It doesn't know what is written in it. It doesn't know the knowledge. It just knows that there's a remark which has been written or an update. AI understands it. That is how it stores. It stores as knowledge. It doesn't store as English or any other language. It stores as knowledge. If you ask AI to draw what is written in remarks, it can, because it knows the knowledge. It is not translating and saying. So that is the first difference. What has happened between data and knowledge, right? So that starts the revolution. Why? Not just construction industry, for any industry. That is a big revolutionizing change which has come right now. If you look into the construction project management, 98% or 99% of the project management experience is not recorded anywhere. It's through tacit data, which is being talked through WhatsApp or through calls or through emails. It's not recorded anywhere. If AI can learn that, AI is learning that. It becomes the knowledge. So then what we are experiencing here is that AI learning the knowledge or all the small details, whatever is happening through the project management, and also the context of it, to see why it happened, how it happened, and why that data is important, and becomes a knowledge. So that is the difference.
What you're saying is, from data gathering, and obviously in construction we have a lot of data, you kind of shift that data into knowledge,
yes,
right?
Yes.
Now, we were discussing prior to this fire chat, we were talking about the concept of agents. I think it's worth to explain what we mean by that. What is an agent? And the big question is AI going to replace a construction manager? I think it's worth to just touch base on what your vision is. What is an agent for AI? Maybe a simple definition.
Okay.
And then explain the differences.
Yeah. So at Zaper, what we actually do is that we create AI agents which act as the digital project manager. Okay. So what is agent? Till now we have automation. The softwares can give you like 10% easiness or 15% easiness to do a job, right? Like let's say I update the material request or something like that. Now, agent is something which can do a quantum of work. That is very important. It can go from point A to point B without monitoring it. It can do some decision based on a model which has been learned, right? So, let's say the most familiar agent which we all have is the gate opening agent when we go to the parking lot, right? So it checks whether the number plate is eligible and it takes a decision. So that there was a man there earlier sitting as a gatekeeper, and his decision was to look into the number and decide whether to let them go. That was covered by an agent. That is the most familiar agent which we know. So the same way, a model has been taught, and the agent can complete from point A to point B. So how we have to see is that we don't have to see the whole construction industry is going to replace one fine morning by sci-fi movie coming. Like, that's not how it is going to happen. We have to see micro agents, something which do a miniature job. Let's say an agent keeps checking the number of materials when I'm taking from the store, a camera on the safety glass properly, or a photo can count the number of stuff. So that is a micro agent which keeps counting. That's it. There is another agent which probably convert the BOQ into activities. That micro agent only knows how to convert BOQ to activities and sprint. Another agent probably will know what schedule works better, right? So I'll give another example of an agent. A labor probably have a small agent, which you talk in your natural language and say, I can't come tomorrow. Like I say in Hindi, kal nahi aa sakta hai main. Like something like that. That becomes your leave manager, right? So there are multiple micro agents which perform that particular job, and then there is an agentic layer on top of it. This agentic layer talks to all these agents and get larger stuff done. So that is the difference which is going to happen in the AI world. So that's why we believe in, that's what we have been doing in Zaper, to complete small, very crucial, yet for a man it's not very productive to do that, right? So those kind of things we can compare.
So you're saying, basically you look at the decision-making processes. Doesn't need to be a very big lookout saying I'm going to change the whole way the site is managed, right? But you're saying, okay, what are different small decision-making processes happening on site? From the gate entrance to what the worker has to do today, to the project director that has to manage a team, or the site superintendent that has to manage another team. And you're looking into decision-making small processes. You're creating then an agent that is able to do that small process, learn from it, to become better, and the agent then is a buddy, right?
Correct.
It's a buddy to the person. And you were telling me something really amazing. So it was like imagine you have a construction manager that has a buddy that is an equivalent of a construction manager that has 100 years of experience, that has studied in all these different schools, and just because the buddy agent has gathered data, which we call experience, right? And that can then help the construction manager. That's how you see it, right?
Yeah. Very. So I can just add to that part. So all this knowledge has been added to this agent, and when we say 5-year experience project manager, right? When he's moving from one company to the other company, he's not taking the data, but he's taking the experience, he's taking the knowledge. For a situation, I know how to do that, right? That is how agents are also gaining knowledge, right? So when it collaborates together, one agent can have an experience of, let's say, 100 years of a project manager's experience, right? And it also learns what is happening in the industry, in IPO companies, what is happening in reading the internet. It also look into government's new laws and all. So it's been updated each and every moment, right? So it is almost impossible for a human to make or analyze all those kind of large corpus of data and make a decision, which AI can do very fast.
Correct. So it's an improvement of the decision making by the person because he has a buddy. Basically, it's a very fast companion that he can just talk to and has gathered knowledge, right? So again, time is flying, and we're trying to be very factual, maybe to help some further discussions together today. When you look at the different layers, there is a big mass on site, which is the worker level. And then workers, they don't have phones. And then they don't have necessarily access to these new technologies. And you're talking about these small decision making. So to be factual now and maybe discuss an entry point of AI on that, where do you see that happening?
Very interesting actually, this place, because there is multiple layers, top decision makers, and then client dealing, and then it keeps coming down to the labors. So if you see, you can translate anything in ChatGPT, you can just say any language and translate. So what we are giving is that we start with the labors. In any natural language, you can talk to the agent. You can say, sir, the vehicle didn't come in probably Urdu or Pashtuni or something, and I am waiting for the work to start. That becomes an update over there, right? So the laborers get, or the blue collar workers get an easy experience, which they are already doing through WhatsApp. But that's not been recorded anywhere, that knowledge has been not done. So the blue collar level worker level agent keeps gathering all the information. Obviously there is a benefit for them because they also see what is the job to be done, how I can improve my career and all. Next level supervisor, site engineer level, everybody will be seeing what is underneath that tree. The knowledge keeps coming. Probably purchase managing agent will be helping a purchase manager to understand what is the long lead items and how it has been distributed. So he might not be asking the same way what a laborer is been asking. This can be dynamically customized very easily. So when we see AI, it's not about construction only. The coding is also done in AI, right? So millions of codes can be written way faster, right? So that's the dynamics of what we are changing. It's huge.
And you were saying on the opening question, you were talking about a very short span of 6 months, right?
Yeah.
I know you're very enthusiastic, and it's very good. The workers today, they don't have access.
Yeah.
Your entry point, saying, okay, look, these guys are the guys actually doing the work.
Yeah.
How is the information and the knowledge then transferred to all of them? And that's where you talk about these small agents. And you gave me a very, again, practical example. It doesn't need to be constant with them, or they don't necessarily need to know there is an agent. It can just be a recording tool,
Exactly.
but also it can be something very easy where they go back to camp, and then in the camp they have an agent available that can discuss with them, say, okay, today half of my team was missing.
Yeah.
I missed the bus. I'm feeling sick.
Exactly.
It's all this information that can be transferred into knowledge on productivity, because that's what we're talking about. And all of that can help then construction manager coming the day after, talking to his agent, saying, okay, we recorded, for example, that all of these workers, are on site today, but be careful for that specific activity. We don't have data, or I don't know exactly how it goes, but that's how you see it, right?
Correct. And to add to it, actually, we are not talking about replacing construction managers. That has to be very clear. But I'm sure 30% of any managers are doing certain jobs which can be done by agents, right? So we can increase the efficiency by 30% and make better decision making time. So probably if you can handle 5 projects, here you can handle 7 to 8 projects at the same time. Well, a lot of work can be done by agents, automated over the agents. So when you say, it's basically about the network of agents which will help all together, and each agent probably is seeing entirely different stuff from other people. It might not be even visible to an agent, because like what you said, it can be just a camera kept over there, and who knows, like let's say there is a speaker which says that, oh, don't keep the brick there. It can be the agent which is actually talking to you. So it's essentially like somebody watching over there, talking to them. The computer lives around you. You're not interacting with the computer anymore. It lives around you. It observes, computes somewhere, create decisions and come back, right? So this is happening in all across industries, not just construction industry.
And you have with Zaper, you've started implementing that on site, right? You have started with Zaper to implement that on site, proposing solutions with agents, working, helping the workers. That's the layer entry that you've started. So, look, guys, we have 20 seconds left, so it's again very short. I will just try to summarize some key takeaways for you to maybe open a discussion afterwards with Ash. Again, AI is not going to replace the construction manager, but if you think about all the decision-making processes and you try to divide it into small activities where an AI buddy can help you up to the worker level to improve the productivity, that's the first point. The second one is, instead of WhatsApp, or even ChatGPT, right, which you could do. Well, that specific agent has been developed to gather data, to transform it into knowledge, and to become more and more and more knowledgeable. Because as you said, experience on site basically is, I've done it, and I've done it for 50 years.
Correct.
So that's the second level. So it's knowledge, it's not only data. And then the third part, what you're saying is, it can become quite fast as an input, and it can be very simple. There is no shame to start simple with micro agents that are going to help, all these tasks, and it's happening, right?
It's happening. So we just recently gave us example, like you put in voice about a safe act, say that okay, there's electricity. I'm talking probably in Tamil or probably in Malayalam or any language. I saw some water over here. It automatically triages the priority. It classifies. It sends to the team. All done, right? These are stuff done by managers, which can be automated. So it's already happening. So these are small stuff, right?
And even just the language, right?
Any
language barrier through all these layers.
And then that will tell you back, okay, you have to do. We are familiar with similar situation in ChatGPT. The only thing is that ChatGPT is open internet.
Correct.
Here it's trained to
it's created for the construction, right? Ash, I thank you very much. I hope that you have a few key takeaways. We've tried to be very factual on a very broad subject, and there's a lot to discuss. We'll be happy to meet all of you. Enjoy the rest of the day. I hope this was useful, and thank you. Thank you, Ash.
Thanks a lot. Thank you.